Greetings and welcome to Pickled Watermelon Rinds, a guilty pleasure podcast featuring Antie Joan and Ontie, providing our zesty and marginally mature take on current events, pop culture, and trends. Now we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hello, Antie Joan.
Hi, Auntie.
How are you today?
Fine and dandy. How about your own self?
I'm well, thanks.
You're welcome.
How's everything been going?
Not bad. Can't complain. I mean, I could, but, why?
That's
Who
right.
cares?
That's right.
Who cares? Yeah. So what? Who cares? How about you?
Well,
What up with you?
I went shopping last weekend, and I
Oh.
went shopping down into what they call the Black Hawk Hard District. And HARD is an acronym for History Appreciation and Recreation Destination District. So it's a little misleading. And it's a mouthful. Why? It's
Yes,
probably
it
why they
is.
abbreviated it. to an
Well, I
acronym.
think they wanted the acronym.
Probably.
And then they just came up with the words that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a newish shopping-ish area on Gregory Street in downtown Blackhawk. And there's quite a few different little stores there. And I went into a new art gallery.
Oh.
And I forget the gentleman's name, and you would think I have his business card, but is it near me? No. But he's in a soft launch right now. He's going to have a grand opening this spring. So all the paintings inside are by one artist, the owner, and he does some nice stuff. I was pleasantly surprised walking through that. And he's a lovely man to talk to as well. We chatted about moose and bears and things like that. So he's just a nice guy.
Did you get his name?
I told you I have his business card, but I did. It's
Oh.
not near me. I should have prepared a little bit more. Didn't.
Oh, why?
Story of my life. And then I love the Mountain Poppy Boutique, which is that's been there for a couple of years now. It was one of the original stores in that area. It's a gift shop, lots of different little gifty items. And then they also have an attached wine bar. And what's cool is you can get a glass of wine and walk around and browse with it. So it's
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
I didn't this time. I have done that in the past, but I did not this time. That's a very nice place. And they've got some decent wine selections as well. It's not just Colorado wines. They actually have some good stuff. I don't like Colorado wines. Sorry. No, I try them and I just do not like them. And I'm not a wine connoisseur by any means, folks. I'm not, but it's just they do not sit well on my palate. I don't like them. I've tried many and have never been really enamored with any. So too bad. But they do have other things there. And they have some beers and something. I think in the winter they have like a mulled wine. And in the summer, they have like wine slushies as well, which are quite good, actually. But it's got an upstairs and a downstairs. And it's not a ginormous gift shop, but they do have quite a bit in there. So I do like going there. And the people who run it are very nice. So once in a while, they'll have paint and sip there as well. They don't have a newsletter or anything. So they post it on the Facebook, and I always miss it or, whatever. And you have to call to, there's no online sign up. You have to go in or call to get on the list. And it's I think they only do 6 to 8 people at a time. So it's hard to I've never been. I know they do it. I would love to partake at some point, but I've never been thus far. And then I went to this other place called Litwood Artisans. And I just assumed that this was going to be artistically enhanced pieces of furniture or wood pieces that were done through burning. And I thought that was what the whole shop was going to be. Nope, he has that is in there. They do have that cutting boards, and he has he called it a wine rack. I would have called it more of it definitely had places for wine and wine glasses, but it had a nice base top to it as well. So I would have used it more as an island in the kitchen or something, but it's not on wheels or anything, but it's very pretty. And then he burns artistic not really scenes, but things into it. It's very cool. He does nice work. He has a bunch of other stuff in there. He's more of a collective of artists that bring in what they want, make and want to sell. And because I saw some things that were at the mountain market that they had up near my house, I did see that they also, some of those pieces or that same artist was in his shop as well. So it's a cool little store. It's hard to, the sign is on the main level, but you actually have to go upstairs. There's an elevator too if you need an elevator. So it's definitely friendly for all to go up and browse his shop. I had a good time in that shop. It's not that big, but he's a very nice gentleman. Chatted with him, and I think his name is Jason, if I recall correctly. And yeah, I just love that little area. And that's where I got this beautiful purple hat that Auntie Joan can see, and maybe I will take a picture of it and post it as well.
That is beautiful.
Thank you, Auntie Joan. It was something in his shop that I just rounded the corner and it was there and I couldn't take my eyes off of it. I tried it on and said, yep, it's coming home with me.
The decoration on it, the design on it, does that look like that was burned in also, or?
So I will tell you that he did tell me exactly how she did it. Apparently this is by Colorado Peach Creations, McKenna Allard, the owner and artist. But she does have a website and a Facebook page and all that stuff, so maybe I'll post all that.
Yeah.
As part of it. But he did tell me how she did this, and I acted like I was listening, but I was distracted because I don't remember what he said.
I've seen some videos, TikTok type videos of hat makers and how they make those. And it's quite a talent.
Yeah.
Quite a talent.
It was just beautiful. I love purple, and it's purple. I like that particular shade of purple a lot. And I don't own a lot, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to, or, what outfit I'm going to wear that with, but I am definitely going to wear it because I just find the hat to be beautiful. And I did like the way it looked on me, which is also unusual.
Well, get yourself a color wheel.
A color wheel.
And
they're
you
on the
can
line.
see, huh?
They're online.
Yeah, and you can see which ones complemented and which ones, what colors. Yeah.
I consulted the color wheel when I painted my last house. That's how I picked those.
You?
That's how I picked those colors. Yep.
Oh.
Yes, the color wheel was my friend.
It is. It should be everybody's friend.
I agree. So that was super exciting, but the most exciting thing that happened over this past week is that Antie Joan went to Snooze.
Oh, yes.
For the first time ever. So fun. Yes, I made her go to the Snooze. Because when I found out that she had never been, I knew that needed to be corrected immediately because that place is so good. But Auntie Joan, what did you think of the Snooze?
Well, being the crazy, wild person I am, I went with a 2-egg traditional breakfast with a couple pieces of bacon and some sourdough toast and that delicious, wonderful hash brown thing that they make.
Yes.
That's probably, it was very, very, very good. The eggs were done perfect and they weren't greasy. They were just really nice. The chai. Oh my goodness. I love chai. And our wait person suggested half spicy and half
sweet,
regular sweet. And it was perfect.
Yep,
Absolutely
I agree.
Perfect. Oh, I would have gone back for seconds, but it's too much.
You could have had another one.
It was so good. Yum, yum, yum.
Yes. It was, and Auntie Joan tried my vegan banana bliss pancake as well. How did you like that? Your little,
it was good.
Very little bite. I gave her the tiniest little bite because I consumed the rest of it myself.
It was tasty. Very good. Very good.
Yeah. And I just had the standard tofu scramble. I didn't go super crazy with mine either. A tofu scramble, the hash brown on the side. The hash browns are on the side of everything. But instead of toast, I got a single vegan banana bliss pancake. So you can do that. I think there might be a small fee to do that, to change it out. I don't remember. I've been going to Snooze for so long. Like I said, I was going there even before I was vegan. So I've tried almost everything on their menu and I've never been disappointed. Not ever.
Now I would make one suggestion. If you're wanting to meet somebody for an intimate conversation, like a breakup or a proposal or whatever, I think you'd want to go someplace else because the acoustics aren't very good and it's
No.
loud, loud.
Yes.
So,
And every single snooze facility I've been in, it started out in Denver and has grown significantly. Now there's one in Boulder, there's one, well, technically two in Westminster, one near the AMC Theater, and then the one we went to, which was at the Orchards. It's quite a few. They've branched out quite a bit, but every single one that I've been in, I think I've been to almost all of them. Well, of the ones I just mentioned, and they're all the same. Very, very loud. It's so hard to have a conversation there. Now, if you wait until later, they're only open till 2 because they are really a breakfast place. They do have some brunchy kind of things, savory things, but primarily they're known for their breakfast. And they have a full bar. So you can get Bloody Marys or mimosas or Aperol Spritz or whatever the heck you want with your breakfast foods you can do. But typically it's just, I usually do coffee or chai or whatever. But it's quite tasty. I just can't say enough about the Snooze, except the acoustics. I agree 100%. It is very loud in there. And I'm surprised that they didn't try and fix that in the additional locations that they opened.
I think there's a lot of restaurants these days that they go for that ambiance, the high energy, loud,
Yeah. Now, back in the day when Snooze first started, there's even a Snooze in, nope, I was wrong. Oh, no, I think it did. I think there's a Snooze in DIA now in Denver Airport. I haven't been to it, but I believe they opened a establishment in Denver Airport as well, one of the concourses. But I haven't been to that one. But back in the day, the wait staff used to be snarky, like on purpose. Like they were that was like their shtick. I haven't seen that in a long, long time. So I don't think that's part of their business model anymore, but it was back in the day. And that was kind of fun. You wouldn't expect this little off the cuff, little snotty remark. You're like, oh, all right. But it was fun. So I'm glad you liked it.
I did. And we need to go to Hamburger Mary sometime.
Yes.
Too. I mean, we keep talking about that, but this spring or summer, let's do it.
Yes, for sure. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, as we talked about before, Antie Joan and I, as part of Pickled Watermelon Rinds, sponsored the Pet of the Year contest with the local peak-to-peak region newspaper called the Mountaineer. And first, we're going to post who the winners were for the Pet of the Year contest. We'll send out that link. Antie Joan and I both had our picks from the list. Hopefully you all saw the Instagram and Facebook posts about this, where we encouraged you all to vote as well, because apparently didn't have to live in the area to vote. So I don't understand. Anyway, it was Antie Joan's pick came in first. She picked the cutie patootie. They were all adorable. It was really hard to choose, to be honest with you. It was all based on number of votes, not that we had anything to do with the selection, other than we voted. But the one that I voted for came in 5th. Still cutie
it came
patootie.
in 5th, huh?
5th. Yep.
Oh.
Very, very cute. But we'll get that link out there. And then we got interviewed by the Mountaineer podcast, which will be airing today. But you guys won't be listening to this for a couple of weeks, which is good because we'll have the link out there and you can go and check out the Mountaineer interview of the Pickled Watermelon Rinds.
Our first official interview.
That's right. It was quite fun. Our host was Jamie, and he was awesome and asked some really good questions. We have not heard the edited version at this point, so we're kind of being preemptive here and telling you guys to go out and listen to it and promise that we're going to post the link. I'm sure he did a good job for us, and I'm sure it's wonderful because we're just fun people to talk to. So what can I say?
We are.
So, Antie Joan, you wanted to talk about Nepo babies in the pop world.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. So I just happened to come across Kelly Clarkson doing a a thing and bringing her like 11-year-old daughter out on
Mm.
stage to sing with her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how cute is that? Well, now she's not the first one to do
Right.
this. I mean, we talked about Kim
Mm-hmm.
Kardashian putting Northwest in for that Lion King thing
Mm-hmm.
and how she got the part over all these other kids. And
Mm-hmm.
did you see the halftime show that Beyonce did? Christmas Day, I think it was. It was a football game.
No, she's all Western now. I don't, not my
Well,
thing.
I watched it on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to see what all the hullabaloo is about. And actually, she's quite good. She
Mm-hmm.
she knows what she's doing, and she knows how to rope you in.
Mm-hmm.
Har har har. And of course, her daughter, Blue Ivy, is now part of her tour. She comes out and is one of the dancers and she sings and stuff like that. And then let's see, who else? Just one moment, please. J-Lo, of course. She's got her daughter who's been coming out and singing with her. Pink's daughter's been performing with her for a while. And I and actually out of all of them, I think the one I like the most is Pink's daughter.
Well, Pink can do no wrong, so
I know.
we can't say anything bad about her
I
because
have to agree with
I
you.
love her.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, me too. I always have.
she's the only one I would
Even for
defend on that list. Kelly Clarkson would be second because I do really like her
yeah,
too.
yeah.
But Pink is definitely.
And I was a little sad to see Kelly do this. And I don't know why this bothers me.
I don't
I
know why it
think it's
bothers you that much either.
Well, it's just they're dragging these kids out, putting them on stage, having them be their little dancing monkey things. And I think in a way kind of taking away their childhood. Now, I understand when I was 12 and 13 years old, well, I don't know, considering where I was at 12 and 13 years old, but I always wanted to be a performer.
Mm-hmm.
I would have, loved to have been on stage and to have my mother back me up and
Mm-hmm.
that would have been awesome. But it's just like I don't think putting these 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 year olds in a tour with all this,
Mm.
all kinds of weird shits going on these tours and in the buses and all that stuff. And I think exposing them to all that at such a young age, I don't
Hmm.
think it's a good idea. My own personal opinion.
But you like dance moms.
No, well, I liked it because they because they made me realize how crazy these people are.
Mm-hmm.
They won't let their kids just be kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, also let's not forget Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith and their kids. That one about my hair. I can flip my hair back and forth or whatever it is. Yeah, when you hear about these kids who are actors
Mm-hmm.
as children
Mm-hmm.
and what they go through
Mm-hmm.
as children
Mm-hmm.
and how it messes them up.
But this isn't new. Like, this has been going on for so long, and parents still do it, and there's nothing in the industry really protecting the kids. I just watched recently on Hulu, I think, something about child actors, and like Keenan Thompson from Saturday Night Live was
Mhm,
chatting
mhm.
about his time on Nickelodeon. And
I didn't know he was
mhm,
on that.
and the person who was doing most of the interviewing and stuff is a singer, and I can't remember her name. I could see her perfectly right now, but she was much younger than me, so I never got into her music or anything like that. I can see her face. I can't think of it. But she kind of narrates or, talks about her own struggles. She started as a child actress or child actor as well, singer actor with Disney. I think she had her own little show at some point. She interviewed Drew Barrymore as well. Like, this has been going on for so
Oh yeah.
long. There were some protections from some law came into effect. I forget, one of the kids back in the day died or committed suicide.
Corey Haim.
No. They actually named this law or this part of a contract after the person because the parents took all of his money. Maybe he didn't die. Maybe parents took all of his money, and so when he grew up, he had everything he worked for was gone. All the money he made for the family was the possession of his parents. So there's clauses in actors and actresses, young, underage, actors and actresses contracts that they're required to get a certain percentage at the time that they get of age, 18, 21, whatever it is. Now, where it gets dicey is streaming, not streaming, the Instagram, Facebook, people who become sensations, children who become sensations that way. There is no protection for them. The law does not carry through to the internet, basically. They were talking about that, how they feel bad for the kids that are, like, there's one kid who reviews toys. He's a cute little kid. I never heard of him before this show I saw on Hulu. He made all this money. He's got, I forget, millions and millions of followers. And, he's made all this money. He's got a bunch of promotions from the different toy manufacturers and things like that. And there's nothing requiring his parents to put money aside for him. And they can spend it if they want to. Spend it all. So, yeah, I hear you. But unless there's, I don't know how it doesn't fall under child labor laws.
Oh, they probably do. I
don't
as
know.
far as the Nepo children, I'm sure they're being watched carefully. I will say one thing. When Blue Ivy, Beyonce and Jay-Z's daughter, was at the opening of Mufasa, anyway, she was in this gown and walked doing the red carpet thing, and you could see Beyonce and Jay-Z watching her, and they were so proud of her. I mean, that warmed my heart. You could just see how much they loved her. And then when I see some of the moms with their kids start performing, you can really see there's some love and stuff going on. But I don't know. I hope, oh well, it's not my place to say, is it? But
is it a Nepo thing that you have a problem with, or is it just children?
In this case, it's a Nepo thing. It's like,
what child is going to get up on stage? And Kelly Clarkson isn't going to have just some random child come up on stage with her.
Well, why have a child?
What do you mean, why have a child? What does that mean?
I mean, why have a child on stage?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's to highlight her daughter. And in this particular film clip that I saw, Kelly made a point of introducing her and saying, and she even picked out her dress. So it was something that the daughter really wanted to do. And I mean, Kelly made it special for her, more power to the kid if she can do it, but just dragging your kid out. I guess my biggest problem is with, you're never going to believe this. My biggest problem is with Kim Kardashian and taking that poor kid and trying to turn her into something. Kim Kardashian's daughter and Beyonce's daughter, they even have Wikipedia pages where they're defined as musicians, singers. And come on.
Well, anybody can write whatever they want about themselves on Wikipedia. I don't hold much stock in the Wikipedia. I'm surprised people still even use that, to be quite frank.
Oh, I do all the time.
Really? Because it's not factual, right?
Oh, I know a lot of it is that have the reference numbers, footnotes. Okay. Yeah, they cite their sources.
Anybody can go in and change it at any time.
Well, you can say that about anything, can't you?
No, I can't get into just anybody's website and change their shit.
Oh, well,
I can't.
How you could, yeah.
Wikipedia, I know I can.
I guess inquiring minds and critical minds like mine follow up on the research.
Oh, okay. So you read something on Wikipedia and then you do your own research after that? Okay. Nice.
It's good, just good investigative journalism.
Because that's what you are, an investigative journalist.
That's right. Just look at my Wikipedia page. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Now we're on to the part of our program where we discuss what we're watching.
What you watching, Auntie?
Cunk on Life. The character Philamena Cunk tells us all about life, who is portrayed by Diane Morgan, and she is hysterical. We love the Diane Morgan. We have loved her since The Afterlife. Auntie Joan and I watched that. It was a Ricky Gervais show on the Netflix, and very well done. Not a typical Ricky Gervais role, but it still has some funny quips in it, but it was mostly serious and sad. But Diane Morgan Diane Morgan was in that as a supporting actress and was in almost all the episodes, I think, as one of the office
I think
workers,
so.
Kath.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's where I first met her. Although she was in Death to 2020 and Death to 2021, which was like a series
Oh,
of different actors and actresses that basically were putting an end to those years back in December's of those years. But she wasn't the main character or anything like that. But I remember finding her very funny on that too. And I think that's when you told me, she's the woman from Afterlife. And I was like, oh. I did not know. So then she had Cunk on Earth about 2 years ago, and that was really good. And it was basically it's interview style. She gives you lots of facts, but in a funny way, and twists words, and does her interviews where she basically is trying to confuse or she acts like she's confused to these experts that she's talking to who are definitely in on the joke because they keep straight faces, and there's just not a fat chance in hell that these people would keep straight faces through these kinds of questions.
really? You
I
didn't
don't think
think?
so. I think they're totally in on it.
I think two of them were actors. When I watched the credits at the end, it looked like there were two of them that were actors.
You're talking
Oh,
about Cunk on Life.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't read the credits. It's silly fun. This one, I have to say, was not my favorite. I liked Cunk on Earth a whole lot better. This one felt like it went on for an extra long time. Like
Yeah,
it was a struggle
yeah.
for me to. I was like, oh my god, she's still talking. She breaks them up into chapters. I think there were 8
Mhm.
chapters or something like that. A ridiculous amount, and it was just. And I thought, because the first time I watched, I got distracted and started doing stuff on my phone. But I thought it was at the beginning, and that I really caught the end. And turns out, no, I caught that when I rewatched it last night. I watched the beginning, and I must have gotten bored with it because about the same time that I was just like, oh my god, is this still going? It was stuff I hadn't seen before, and I was like, oh.
And it was only an hour and 11 minutes.
Oh my god, it was.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it felt like it was like 2 hours, not 2 hours, like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. I was just like, oh my God. So that was disappointing because I do love her. I love the Cunk character, Philamena Cunk. I think it's hysterical. I
Mhm.
do like what she's doing. This one just didn't hit the mark for me as well as Cunk on Earth. What about you, Auntie Joan?
Well, I love Philamena Cunk because, and Diane Morgan,
Diane Morgan is her real name, the actress name. Yeah.
she has a dry delivery.
Mm-hmm.
So she comes across as asking honest questions. The first thing I thought of when I saw this, well, there were two people that I thought of when I saw this. The first was Lucy Worsley, and I thought this character is probably based on her. And she does these PBS documentaries, like, well, she's got one now on Jack the Ripper, and you kind of see her walking through like the town or the village or whatever, and giving her narration and stuff like that. So when I saw Cunk the first time, I thought, well, I bet that's who she's kind of inspired by. And
Mm-hmm.
then when you watch her, Cunk, with these interviews with people, the next person I thought of was Allie G.
Mm-hmm.
Allie G was a wannabe rapper character by Sacha Baron Cohen.
Love him.
Cohen.
Cohen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he would go around. There's one clip, and I just sent it to you, Auntie, where he's interviewing Donald Trump,
Mm-hmm.
and he's trying to talk him into. It's only like a minute, and he's trying to talk him into buying into this invention he wants to manufacture, and it's a ice cream glove, so your hands don't get cold and sticky when you're eating ice cream. But so those two people came to my mind when I saw this. Now I have to admit, I watched this Conk on Life a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I watched it, the better I liked it. So,
Okay.
yeah, I mean,
I love
when
the
you,
outtakes at the end. That was probably my favorite part, where the outtakes at the end where, when they're rolling the credits.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
that's what had me come back. Because when I blanked out the first time I watched it and started doing other stuff, when it finally came to the rolling, she was finally done, I paid attention again. And I was like, oh my God, these are so funny. I'm like, I gotta watch this again. Apparently I thought it was me just being stupid and getting a thought in my head and going to my phone and starting to fart around on my phone and just got lost in that. But no, it turns out I was bored.
You're sounding more and more like me these days. You get easily distracted and
Well, I thought that's what it was, but no, it was boredom, because when I
okay.
rewatched it last night, like I said, it was about the same time that I was just like, oh my God, is this still going? Because it was funny at the beginning, I thought. I mean, and there are funny parts throughout, don't get me wrong, but I thought it was too long.
Yeah. Well, some of the jokes I thought were, really juvenile, but like I say, the more I watched it, the better. I would, I guess, maybe pick on little pieces that I really liked, when watching it again. So, and I really like watching those people that she interviews and their reactions. And the one where she says, well, or could I just be, what, am I wasting your time? And he
Yes.
says,
Yes. Yes, you are. Yeah. But she also apparently has 3 other ones that are not on Netflix, and I don't even know if we can watch them anymore. They're not super well. Cunk on Britain, I want to say, was like either I saw 2 different dates for it. 2013 or 2016, and then Cunk on Shakespeare. So the Cunk on Britain, I think, originally ran on BBC, and it looked like it may have even been episodic. So it wasn't, just one, like the Netflix ones are like you said, a little over an hour. But like I said, this last one felt way longer than that to me. But it seemed like it was episodic. And same thing with Cunk on Shakespeare, and then Cunk and Other Humans on 2019. So I assume that came out in 2019. But I don't know what streaming services they're on. Their IMDB is not telling me. So I'm assuming they're probably stuff you can't watch anymore.
Or you have to pay for.
Exactly. They're not on Netflix because I knew there were more than one Cunk, Philamena Cunk thing. And when I looked up on Netflix, I just typed in Cunk. And the only 2 that came up on Netflix were Cunk on Life and Cunk on Earth. And I was like, oh, I could have swore she did more of these. And then when I looked on IMDb, I found there were more. But I don't know where you can watch them or if you can at all anymore. But so if you've got nothing better to do, and I do love her dry delivery as well. I think it's hysterical. I thought a couple of them were a little trite, but for the most part, I found them hysterical. Like I said, I liked Cunk on Earth much better. So if you've got some time, I highly recommend Cunk on Earth. And if you've got a little extra time, you want to give Cunk on Life a try, okay. Still good, just not as good. Well, maybe if I saw Cunk on Life first, I would have liked it better. I don't know.
She mixes up the names of things, but she does come up with some really interesting things, like the atomic, atomic particles and all that stuff that she gets into. So, yeah.
Yes, you're right. There are some interesting topics. It's just, you have to parse through her remarks and silliness. And the experts have some, if she lets them, have some good things to add too, but it's...
And if you have extra time, maybe check out PBS's Lucy Worsley.
But that's not the same thing. So these are mockumentaries. That's actual... proper...
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I just want to make sure everybody understands the difference.
Yeah. On Jack the Ripper on PBS.
Right.
And Ali G, which is a mockumentary type thing. Yeah.
Right.
And you can see Ali G on YouTube. Just type in ALIG. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Now we're on to the part of our program where we discuss commercials we have to talk about. And Auntie Joan's got a good one for us today. What you got, Auntie Joan?
Oh, I'm sure everybody's seen this. Even you youngsters, I hope you've seen it. This is the Discount Tire thank you commercial. And this is the little old lady who drives up to a Discount Tire facility, takes out a tire and throws it through the windows. Now, did you realize that this commercial is the Guinness Book of world records holder for the longest running TV commercial?
No.
Well, it first aired in 1976 and it aired for 12 years.
Wow.
Not continuously, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So can you imagine that woman? Okay, it took 6 hours for them to film the 10-second commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all the residuals, every time they show the commercial, that old lady
Mm-hmm.
gets, so she probably was able to retire on that 10-second commercial.
I'm
Six
guessing
hours of
she
work.
was already retired. She's pretty old in that. In
Ex-
1976.
but she didn't die till 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, just a little information about that commercial. What brought it to mind was over the holidays, I had to get a tire replaced, and I went to Discount Tire. So that kind of brought it all up to me. So you
Oh, so
remember
you
this
didn't see the
commercial?
commercial? You just thought of it from going to Discount Tires? Is that what you mean?
Well, actually, I was Googling commercials to see what I could talk about today. And for some reason, this thing came up. I remembered it. And there's, the history to it.
Yeah.
It being, the longest running TV commercial and
Yes.
the little old lady. And so,
And the reason she's throwing the tire through the window is because they're dubbing over it saying, if you ever have a problem with one of our tires, you can return it. And for some
yes.
reason, they thought that would be funny for a little old woman to take a tire and hurl it through the glass window of the Discount Tire store.
And come to find out that she couldn't. She couldn't actually make
I
it
wouldn't think so. She didn't
through
look like
the
she was
window.
strong enough.
So they had to give it to a crew member to give it the
Yes.
throw and
Right.
make it crash through.
Right. They cut away and then
Yeah,
you see the tire
yeah.
crash through. So, but
And then there is one story of a disgruntled customer who, after seeing that commercial, threw a deflated tire at a storefront window of a Discount Tire store and caused like $500 in damage.
well, they brought it on
Yeah.
themselves by saying this is how you return tires to us. So,
And then they say, even today, 40 years later, the ad is a pride and joy to all of us at Discount Tire.
well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Which Discount Tire did you go to, by the way? Can I ask? The one in Boulder?
Longmont.
Oh, hey.
And then when we went to Snooze,
Snooze.
when we got on 287,
Mhm.
I saw there's a little Discount Tires store right there.
Yes. I've been to that one before when I was staying with Auntie Bethy before I got my new house for a little bit. That's a Discount Tires I would go to.
Mm-hmm.
But during COVID, they were awful. I like them because, so the Boulder one is always lots of people there. It's just crazy, in my opinion. But if you listen closely, if you stay there and stay inside, you'll hear some music playing. And
Yes.
is it at Longmont too? It was Christian music.
Oh, no.
In Boulder, it is. Now, it was this last time I went, I did wait, but I waited outside because it was a beautiful day. So I sat in the sun. But before that, yes, if you sit inside and really pay attention, because, most people are farting around on their phones.
Mm-hmm.
If you pay attention, it is Christian music being played for you.
Yeah. No, they had in Longmont, they had like 70s.
Oh, see, that's good.
Yeah.
And I
'Cause
don't
I
remember.
really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I don't remember if they had music. I'm sure they had music playing in Broomfield, but I think I also sat outside at the Broomfield one most of the times I went there. It's just further. And now that I don't go over there as often, now that Auntie Bethy left,
Yeah.
I don't go that way very often anymore. So there's really no reason for me to go over there. But yeah, the Boulder one, it was because I actually remember the first time I heard it, I'm like, oh my God. Am I hearing what I'm hearing?
How appropriate.
Right?
Oh my God.
Exactly. So I texted a friend of mine who's the one that said I should probably go to Discount Tires and told him, I'm like, did you ever notice this is happening? He's like, oh, I don't usually stay there. I usually go off and do other errands or whatever, because usually his wife comes with him or whatever. And I was just like, oh, okay. Because, yeah, pay attention next time you're in there. It's happening. And it happened multiple times. It wasn't like a one and done, like I noticed it once and that was it. No. Multiple times. But I just don't know if they were still playing that the last time I was there because I sat outside.
I was even tempted to go up and tell the guy when I was checking out that I loved their choice of music, but the kid was probably 30 years old and wouldn't have a clue what I was talking about. So
yeah, he probably wasn't the one that selected
appreciate
it.
But I do have one complaint about that.
Uh-oh.
First of all, I ordered the tire and paid for it online.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, it was it was in December or maybe around Thanksgiving. Anyway, it was around that time frame. I order it, I pay for it, and then they said, yeah, it went through, everything's fine. So then I went, and I was going to make an appointment, and they said, well, they couldn't get me in. Yeah, this was back in November. So they couldn't get an appointment until like December 8th or something. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought, oh, I need to get in before that. So I'll just go and wait. So then I go the next day to the store and I point to the guy, say, that tire there, that needs to be replaced. And I've got one on that I paid for yesterday. Oh, let me check and see if it's in. Well, it wasn't in.
Mm-hmm.
So fortunately, I didn't have to wait too long. So then I thought I'll wait till after Thanksgiving and whatever, and then I'll go in when kids are back to school and everything, people are back to work and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I went in and there were still probably 20 people there
Mm-hmm.
during the week. It
Mm-hmm.
was during a weekday. So they had the tire. I knew that. I went in. Yes, I'll wait. And they said, well, it probably won't be till, I think I got there at 2. And they said, well, it probably won't be ready till like 5:30. I thought, well, okay, what can I do? So come 5, it wasn't done. 5:30, it wasn't done. 5:45, I'm thinking, my car hasn't moved. It's still in the same place it was. And I got up and walked over there and I looked and it looked like they had actually replaced the tire because you could see the white
Mm-hmm.
printing on the tire. So I go up to the guy and I say, is my car done? And the guy says, oh, it's been done for a while. Didn't anybody tell you? So I'm wondering, when the hell was that thing done? So then
Mm.
this kid comes in and says, oh, yeah, I was just going to tell her. Yeah. So
Mm.
that kind of pissed me off. But anyway.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
fortunately, I had some wonderful Instagrams and thing to look at
That's right.
while I was waiting. And I was sitting there
That's
with a
right.
big smile on my face because Auntie sent me Jude Law
That's
Instagrams
right.
and videos. So yeah, I
That's
was
right.
good. And then the 70s music playing. So yeah.
Nice. I only go there when I actually have an appointment because even one time I got there. This is a while ago, it's a couple of years ago now, I guess. But I got there and the kid who was checking me in said, okay, it should be hour and a half. I'm like, I had an appointment online. I'm guaranteed. Doesn't that sign right there say that I'm guaranteed? And he's just like, oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, I am not sitting here for an hour and a half. You will go get my car and you will bring this in and you will take care of it. Nuh-uh. So you got to be careful with that. Even when you make an appointment, just make sure that they don't try and give you the spiel of, well, we're really busy today, so it looks like it's going to be. I'm like, nope, I have an appointment. That was the whole point of me scheduling an appointment. Should be out of there within an hour. Never should be in a discount. If you have an appointment, should never be in a discount tire more than an hour.
That Discount Tire in Boulder is right by Moe's, isn't it?
It sure is. You can walk to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe that's where I'll take it next time. Just walk over
And
to
let me know if
Moe's
you hear the music.
Oh, yeah, but if but at 3:00 in the afternoon, Moe's closes. So
well, don't go
I'd
at
have
3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Go earlier than that, and then you can still do that.
I will.
Nice. All right, Auntie Joan. Anything else for our listener today?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
I meant to say earlier, Christos Sistaicha.
And to you too.
It was Orthodox Ukrainian Christmas on January 7th. So that was just a couple of days ago, and I took down my Christmas decorations promptly the day after. But that's been a tradition in my family for a very long time, as I am 50% Ukrainian. So there you have it.
And my best to your home country and
thank you.
Or your motherland.
Appreciate it. All right. Well, that wraps it for yet another wonderful Pickled Watermelon Rinds episode. This is Auntie signing off.
And Antie Joan saying bye-bye now.
We thank you for listening. And remember, when life eats away at your core, make pickled watermelon rinds.